right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the FloorSeats podcast, episode 18. I am your host, or one of your hosts. I just go by the name of Tax. I got my man Zanza down here.
Down. I'm like to the left of you on my screen, but all right, I guess I'll just be below you. Pause.
Yeah, on my screen you're below me. But and then recurring guest, we got our good friend Kage here. What's going on, man?
I'm doing well. What's going on with you guys?
Nothing much. How's everybody's week been?
Chill. Long.
Man. Now you guys go. You guys go. I'm still contemplating if how I want to share this story of something that happened during my week. You know, because I'm still having feelings how I feel about it.
My week's been busy because somebody had to take the week off to move, and like the dumbest problems ever happened at my job. So I'm just like, oh my god, like the work wasn't hard. It's just like when because I do IT, so then we'll get to a point where it's like, hey, we can't do anything, and then the higher ups are like, well, I don't know what to tell you. You guys figure it out, because it doesn't affect them, so they're not trying to help. And that's been my week.
Don't you hate
like,
that?
hey, like we can't do anything beyond what we're doing, and they're just like, I don't know what to tell you because they're not the ones affected. But the moment they're affected, things happen. So
the slightest moment doesn't take much.
Yeah, that's been my week.
Yeah,
Dang.
I had in terms of like there are 5 people on my team. I also work in IT, and like 3 people had to call out. So, another dude on the same token had to go to a doctor's appointment. So there were just 2 of us, and we're like, okay, I guess my lunch is at 4:00 today. And, that wasn't that bad. That was, it was a long week, put it that way.
Oh, I do have a dumb story though, right?
Yeah.
So this will give you time to prepare your story, Zanza. I went to the post office on Friday, and I was like, all right, let me get my passport done real quick. I go there. They're like, yo, you need an appointment for your passport. I'm like, but you're sitting here, and you're not doing anything, and there's no one. And I have all my stuff here. They're like, yeah, but you still got to make an appointment, COVID, all this other crap. I'm like, whatever. I make an appointment for yesterday, 10:15. Tell me why I didn't get seen until 10:50. I'm sitting in there for like 35 minutes. And I'm like, well over 35 minutes. And I'm just like, yo, what's going on? Like, you guys said he'd be here in like 10 minutes. It's like 10:50. He's still not here. And apparently there's only one person that does the passports. Only one. The guy shows
I really
up.
hope it wasn't the same guy.
Word.
No, it wasn't the same guy.
I would have slapped him, dog. He would have just put on a different hat or name tag and came back or something.
Yeah, so I'm like, this one guy stole a whole chunk of my day. And it just comes around like it's like, oh, okay, like nothing crazy. I'm like, bro, you didn't even ask if I had an appointment or anything like that. Where the other guy was playing by the book. This guy just apparently just works on his own time, apparently. And it's not a problem for anybody else in that entire building except me. So I was pretty heated because I was like, dude, why did I schedule an appointment if you're going to be like 40 minutes late?
Man, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would say for how would I say it? Like for COVID, the way some places are reopening back up, I think like some business practices, like some places are putting into place, like because of it. Some I agree with. I'm like, yep, this promotes safety, whatever for everybody. That's cool. And like others, it's just like, I think you're just doing this to be annoying. Like you're doing this to be really annoying, and I don't think it's not gonna help. It's not helping anybody.
Yeah, that's
like
the post office.
I mean, we all know what's going on with the post office right now. I mean, if you just see just a little bit of the news of like all the like machines for like the ballots and whatnot is being like or is it, I guess, machines that can't be used for the ballots, like used to count ballots, or like, oh, they're not, they're not useful at all, whatever. They're just being just uprooted and tossed out. A lot of crazy shenanigans going on right now in the postal service. I mean, oh, excuse me. Not knowing like the full details of everything, but just hearing the stories themselves. What did you guys think? Because I was gonna go into something about the gym and just something really dumb, just to give you guys the context before we go into postal service thing. Actually, so what my gym did when I first started going, like they got new machines and everything when they reopened, and I was like, oh, this is really cool. Like, they even put things up and like they space things out, and I was like, okay, this seems straight. And like I went, this was like the first week, and I guess like going into the second or third week, I guess the gym opened. I go in one day and they just started like closing working machines to create more space between people, where like some of the things that they did, like some of the machines they took out of order to create space, which they could have done a lot of other things that I like just looking around the gym. They could have done other things if they really wanted to social distance people, but instead they took like machines, closed them out, which creates more traffic when they take certain machines where like they'll take a machine that's like there's 3 copies of this one machine and they'll take 2 of them out of order and leave just one, just because like, oh, social fitnessing is because I go to Planet Fitness is what they call it. And I was just like, nah, this is just dumb. Because now what you're going to do is you're going to create foot traffic around one machine or multiple other machines in the gym. Like, I don't think this is smart. And then, like, and of course, like with like with the mask thing, like I get it. Like, I have my mask on the whole time. But it was just like what I was on my way out. I was literally out the door. I was like on the stairs, out the door. Practically, I'm closer to the door than I am to the rest of the gym. I had my mask down for 1 second, because I had to like, put something, fish for something in my pocket. Like I probably was looking for my wallet. And as I was going down, someone was like, whoa, like, you need to get like, yo, I'm like 3 steps away from the door. They're like, yo, you need to have your mask on while you're in here at all times. And I was just like looking at the door. I'm like, I'm closer to the door than I am to the rest of the gym. I'm like out the gym. But I was just like, I have so much going on. I have my gym bag, like other stuff in my hand. And I'm just like, I don't want to cause problems. So then I was like, I just stopped everything that I was doing, put all my stuff down just to put my mask back on and then do whatever, and then go back, like, fishing for my wallet or wherever I was doing my phone. But it was like the fact that I was like, yo, I'm like literally already walking out the door. He literally stopped me in my tracks. He's like, yo, I would need you to have that mask back on. I'm like pointing, like, but I'm leaving. But
I'm out.
I'm out. Like I'm out. Like I'm out. Like I'm out.
I'd have kept going to the door.
Like it was just crazy. Like I thought they could see that I was going out. Like I was making it very obvious. I was like, I'm going out. But I'm not here to cause trouble. But at the same time, you kind of fucking up my day. You kind of fucking up my day with this type of shit, though. That was me, just ranting a little bit, because I hope this is not. It's not a preview of what's to come, of just like really dumb like rules, like places put in place that's not really well thought out. Just for the sake of social distancing, because I mean, like I'm all for it, and I think people who are in those spaces have the common sense to kind of distance themselves. But I feel like when some places try to take it upon themselves and they go way too far with it, you're just making more problems. You're making things more difficult for people than they already are. I think that's what my ranting of the day is. Stop making more problems for people. Like. Even when you think you're trying to solve a problem, just take a second, stop, look what you're doing, and really think about: am I being part of the solution or being part of the
Word.
That's me. But to take it back to speaking of which, the Postal Service and the buffoonery that's going on there, because with the next election they're gonna have to do mail-in ballots. So that's what people are on about. What do you guys' take on that? Not even knowing like the full, like all 100, like all the details. What do you guys think?
Do it. Go for it. The fact that this asshole doesn't like it, just keep it rocking, because it's been done that way in the past. So what's the point? I mean, if anything, he's just going to cause a stir, and whatever gets him riled up makes me happy. So just keep it pushing.
Honestly, like, why do we need to do mail-in ballots? Like, I mean, it sounds like that's going to be like the new normal. Like, everybody has to do that instead of going to like. I hope that like more voting centers are still like open rather than like us being forced to do mail-in ballots, because like, how is it okay for like mass gatherings for protests, but not mass gatherings to vote? Like, that's like the confusing thing about it. It's like, on one token, it's like, yes, protest, like all this stuff like that. But then it's like, oh, well, you can't mass gather for church, or you can't mass gather, I guess, now to vote. Or there's issues mass gathering to go to the gym, to your case. And I'm like, when is social distancing supposed to happen? Like, are there exceptions? Like, are people less likely to get COVID because they're mass gathering to protest certain things? Like, as far as like the post office thing, I thought they were just taking away mailboxes. I didn't know they were taking away like voting machines. Is that what's really happening?
Well, there's said something on my phone here. It's hard to pull up stuff up. But one of the last things I read, they were like uprooting machines. They like, because a lot with the craziness with the post office going on right now, the USPS, because one of the main things with the voting machines, they've uprooted like 10,000 like across different locations of like these machines like that are used to like go through mail.
Yeah.
And then the excuse is like, oh, why are you uprooting all these machines? And with especially like for the sake of going through mail, because the ballots, we're going to need those type of machines. And then what was it written in the article was like, these type of machines aren't able to read those type of aren't able to count ballots. Like these machines can't even do what you guys even want them to do.
Yeah.
That was the so-called excuse. But I mean, come on, anything could be adapted to do a different job as long as it's technology. You could figure it out. If you could have companies like Kodak, who all of a sudden is just like, well, you know what? I've been like this photography camera company for who knows how many years. All of a sudden, I'm gonna stop and start producing ingredients for like vaccines or whatnot, because that's what recently in the past few weeks that's been the news with Kodak. So I'm saying, if you got a camera company that's able to like switch gears and start making pharmaceutical ingredients for a vaccine, I think you can repurpose like a mail counting machine to do ballots. Like, I don't think it's that hard. I really don't think it's that hard. You telling me in a whole entire entity that is Kodak could just be like, all right, we're making ingredients for vaccines from now on. I don't think it's that hard. We're living in the 21st century. Like, that's part of my take on it.
Well, so to your point, I don't think it's hard, but Kodak doesn't have the U.S. government stopping it from potentially doing that. Like, the U.S., like the Postal Service is a government job. You know what I mean? So like, with all the discourse that's going on in our government, I wouldn't be surprised if that's a point of contention. Like, if the post office was like UPS, then they'd be like, oh, sure, yeah, we can, quickly replace these machines or something like that. But like, of all the things that Democrats and Republicans argue, I'm pretty sure they're not even like thinking to repurpose those machines. And a lot of those machines I saw are like in rural areas where like no mail and stuff like that go through anyway. So like, but I think they just overall said like, all right, we're gonna wait until after the election because people are making a big deal out of it.
Like I'm saying, no,
And imagine
just to
having that
bring up,
one mailbox in like Southwest Montana that like 2 pieces of mail a month go through. You're like, all right, well, there's no point in this going in here.
that is upset. 2 pieces of mail, like one chain, like one like pen pal letter, the other like I don't even know.
And it's spam. It's
Can you
just
imagine?
like
Can you
it's spam mail. So like that's all
can
I'm
you
like,
imagine
I
the
don't know.
mailman who has to go through that mailbox and go like pick up that mail every morning? Like whoever has to go.
Yeah, because a lot
Like
of these people in those areas actually just have a PO box where they get their mail sent there.
Mm.
So like they're like, yeah, like I don't, like my cabin here in freaking Iowa, it's too far away from a main road. Like, so I just have a PO box, and then occasionally I drive down to check my mail. So like they probably have mailboxes in like dumb spots like that like no one uses, but then like it's an
and that's
uproar
smart.
now.
And that cool. I mean, it helps. Like I wouldn't want to be a mailman and have to hike up a mountain to deliver some dude's mail. Like, and then you're like, you put the mail in the box and you got to hike down. Like, I don't even
You
like.
can
All
probably
right,
just roll.
buddy.
Yeah.
Probably just
Yeah,
roll
okay.
down.
Roll down the mountain. Get inside the
just
tire
lay
and
out
just
all flat.
Yeah.
Just get in the barrel. You roll up there every morning. You just hop in. Just hey, you want to give me a nudge? You tell the guy while he's sipping his coffee. He just kicks you down the hill.
That
Carry
might be
on
it,
your
man.
day. See, like that's excessive. But I think to another point I recently learned about. I think what's the biggest concern is that because there's the USPS and they have to do, if we're gonna do mail-in ballots, they have to do it because apparently FedEx can't do it. And
UPS,
UPS. Yes, this take out an S.
DHL.
They can't because since they're not federal, like since handling voting ballots is federal. It's a federal thing. It's a federal
Yeah.
job. They can't do it because they're private companies.
Yeah. If we get a lot of mail-in ballots, we're not going to know the president until like 2021. We're going to be honest.
So way after the fact, right? Like
Yeah.
just yeah.
We're not going to know until 2021.
And it's
so
pieces of
do
paper.
it like WWE and have it like a vacant president, fucking vacant title, and just have it like no one there for a little bit. But this dude wants to be president forever, so he's trying to prolong the whole shit. So
yeah, trying to delay the election year
and the president.
You know what? I'll really be mad if it takes my passport 2 to 3 months to get done, but they count all those mail-in ballots and have a president by the end of like November.
They just like, all right, all the ballots are in, and then like 2 days later, all right, we counted them all. I'm like, you counted them all. Like,
And I'm
you
still
counted
waiting
all
for my
the ballots.
passport.
I know. I'm like, you counted those millions on millions of ballots. Like, counted, recounted, got an accurate number. It's like, yeah, totally, for sure.
All good. And
Sure.
still, I want to know where Tash is trying to go.
Oh, no. No, I was saying, and I'm still waiting for my passport. Like, I'd be so mad if I'm still waiting for a passport, but they counted like millions of ballots. Where's all this manpower suddenly? But you didn't have it for my passport.
Yo, I'm talking to people that just got their tax returns. Like, just got their tax returns.
I still don't have mine. I still don't have my stimulus or my tax return.
And they filed back in March, April, like back when you were supposed and I'm like, you getting them now? And then it's like, yeah, I filed like back in July or early, before, even when they extended, like, yeah, I just got my return. So I don't know what's going on in there, man. Like, it's a wild, wild west. What ballots about to be counted? Millions of ballots about to be counted in like 2 days, but your tax returns is going to take like 2 years to come to you. That's what it. That's why I feel like that's the world timeline we in right now.
I'm telling you, man, people's priorities.
Speaking of timelines, bro, like it just on top of the other crazy things you could just read on headlines nowadays. Did you guys peep? There's supposed to be NASA, quote unquote, stated there's going to be an asteroid. I'm just processing my thoughts because I'm just like the timing. There's going to be an asteroid that supposedly has a chance of hitting Earth the day before the election or around the election time. And I'm like, the timing, the irony is so high. But of course, like depending on where you read it, which outlet, they'll make it sound like an asteroid is like impending doom is on the way. And then I read went to a different article. I don't know, like just to see different how they title it. And then is that actually it's like a 0.41% of this asteroid actually hitting Earth. 0.41%. But it's supposed to be swinging by around the time of the election. It's just to be clear, NASA's just like, we're not saying it's zero. Some places won't say it's zero, but there's a chance. And I'm just like, what? Like,
research.
I'm like, NASA, what do you guys do up there all day? I was just like, yo, it's like NASA is so, I feel like they report on a few things a year. Like they give out, I don't know if it's like I don't know if you call it a conference or some type of press conference. But I feel like when NASA says something or announces some news, it's about some asteroid. It's like, yo, this asteroid's about to hit Earth, yo. It never hits.
Yeah.
It never hits. And I'm just like, what? You just try to bait people, try to be like, oh, made you look.
Yeah.
That's, I feel like that's just all it is. And I'm just like, I saw that asteroid thing. I was like, no. I was just like, this is too much around the time of the election. Too good timing. Too good to be true. You try to tell me the Earth is about to be destroyed by the time of the election. Sounds too good to be true, fam. I'm not believing that. But
it sounds like you have better odds of winning the lottery than that asteroid hitting us.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, that's what NASA has to report. I'm like, I'm like, yo, where's all that money going? I'm just like, whose nose is all that funding is going up to? Whose nose is snorting all that funding? That's all I'm saying. Like, bro, just to report on a 0.41% asteroid of hitting Earth. That's what NASA has to contribute. I'm just saying.
There are gotcha games with better odds than that.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Bro, I kept saying like Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, I have a better chance of pulling like the Rainbow Banner, like pulling Cloud, than that asteroid hitting Earth. And that's like good damn odds. Like that's like if I have a better chance of pulling like crazy gotcha odds than this asteroid hitting Earth, bro, I sleep. I sleep. I'm like, yeah, they news. Y'all wildin'. I'm like, the NASA should have a TikTok. That's what I'm saying. Like NASA is not giving any like substantial news or it's like, what are you doing, NASA? Like, what are y'all doing? Because you all see SpaceX, you see Elon doing all this. He's wildin'. He's saying some crazy stuff, talking about like pyramids. Like, oh, pyramids are made by aliens, and then you have Egypt coming out the cut. He's like, you could come see these pyramids, bro. They're not made by aliens. But he's sending rockets into space. That's all I'm saying. Which is what's supposed to be what NASA's supposed to do. I mean, what do you guys think about that? I'm just going on and on here.
I'm to say that they're just saying shit to say that, yeah, we're still here. We gotta
stay relevant.
Right?
Just so you don't forget about us, and that's all. You know, I did something. I Googled something, and there might be an asteroid coming through. Keep an eye out. And if it does come through, we said it first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. Exactly. If it hits, though, who told you?
Yeah, honestly, you have a point because they're probably like, "Yo, I know you like our merch collabs, but we actually do things."
Yeah.
That's what I feel like NASA should just be an influencer. Like NASA is like, I was like, come on, NASA, let's be real. Like y'all way more trendy than you are useful as a branch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
You
like
guys, your logo as an aesthetic is way cooler than what you guys actually do as a branch in the freaking government. Like,
yeah,
come
like
on.
Elon's actually out here launching rockets and stuff. Y'all just like, oh yeah, yo, there might be an asteroid, but it ain't looking too good. Like we might not get it.
We
Like
might.
it probably burn up in the atmosphere before it hits us anyway. Like,
Or that shit is gonna miss completely. Like straight, straight like ball, like straight. This
The brick.
it's a straight brick. There we go. I was thinking baseball because I'm thinking like
airball.
the asteroid be pitched, but asteroid. No one's just finger rolling the asteroid. The asteroid is just getting like fastball pitched. So I was using baseball. Like no one's finger rolling an asteroid by Earth's atmosphere, bro. Who you talking about?
Yo, even if it does hit, it's not like they're like, oh, well, if they gave us some like real insight, like, all right, well, there's a 0.41% chance it'll hit Earth at this location, like because y'all have the money and the technology to figure that out. Then it's like, all right, cool. But now you're just like trying to add to people's anxiety about this election for no reason.
For
Like,
no
who
reason.
cares
Like,
if it's around the election?
people's like first UPS, now an asteroid. That's what it is. Like you're getting people all hyped up over, and I swear every year there's always an asteroid article. Some commenter asteroid, yo, we about to get hit.
And it
It's
never
gonna hit
happens.
us. It never happens, and I swear every article is this is it. I swear, guys, I think this is it. It's gonna hit us this time. We're gonna get clapped like straight. If you saw what Frieza did to Planet Vegeta, we better catch that 10 times worse. Like it's happening, boys. That's why I feel like NASA really be pushing. That's why NASA just be pushing. And right around the election, around all this UPS like mailbox fiasco, we don't need that. That wasn't even. It just wasn't news. Like I'm like, does NASA really give out news? They should just be a brand, an influencer. Just keep making racetrack jackets. Just sponsor those and just be done. Like I don't know, because people still think I'm saying like a bad thing, but people really just really out here hold NASA in like really like strong regard as they did back in the day, and I'm like, yo, I feel you, but what has NASA done for us lately?
Yeah, speculate.
Yeah,
it's just the merch collabs. That's it.
Real
rap. It's like, yeah, we got dope merch. That's it. We're like the government-funded Supreme. Like, that's it.
Oh, shit.
Government-funded Supreme.
What else do they do?
See, if they came out like that, would it be bad? If they were like, all right, guys, this to be real with y'all, we're really, like, we're just an aesthetic. Come on. Like, we haven't launched a rocket since Neil
Elon's
Armstrong.
out here putting rockets out. Like, they're not doing anything. They don't have a plan of action. They're just like, oh, it might hit. Like, Elon's gonna like, all right, if it's getting close, we launch something at it.
Like, are they trying to go to Mars? Maybe.
Yeah.
Do they care? Sure. They're like, sure, that would be cool. Like, let Elon go to Mars, right? And then let them come out with, like, the outfits, like, the clothes for the expedition. Like, come on. Like, bro, they need us. They need us in the room. Like, where are we when these decisions are being made? Like, I just don't get, like, he could just literally they could just make NASA branded, like gear, merch. Because people will be like, oh, we're on Mars. And then people will love to still, fantasize NASA being the ones that, started this. So I'm like, sure, here, just wear the NASA race, I guess it'll be jumpsuit. And everybody will be happy,
NASA brand drop. That sounds like a winner.
I'm saying, man. I'm just saying. I think they have a better chance than us getting hit by an asteroid.
I hope not.
Low-key, I hope so too, but man, just from what I'm reading, I'm like, yeah, they definitely have better odds of being like influencer merch line than that asteroid hitting. That's also another crazy thing. But you know, you guys let us know what you think. Are y'all? Do you guys still believe in the what NASA stands for, or you think that you know what, government funded supreme doesn't sound too bad? You guys let us know what you think in the comments. You know, if you're on YouTube, you know, for those on Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, appreciate y'all tuning in. Definitely check us out, you know, on our other social channels. And share your opinions, share your thoughts, and you know, because we definitely want to hear from y'all. Um, just to keep the ball rolling, since we got you know our good old pal Kage here out with us today, we decided, you know, let's take it back a little bit. We want to talk a little bit about retro gaming. You know, a little history lesson, a little small flex, because you know we all know Kage out here. We mentioned his stream channel on here before, but now you actually have you rolled out with you tell us, because now I think you actually have a full out name brand for the channel. Yeah, tell us about it.
So I still run my Twitch off of Kage_Santana, but my brand name, if you will, is PostRetroGaming. So I call it PostRetroGaming because postmodern, you know, you see movies that are like postmodern, where they have it's the present time, but it looks like the future in a way. So post-retro meaning like retro gaming that's being played now, and games that are being remastered or remade for this current generation or even beyond that. So when you enjoy them at this time, this, you know, present time, like on my streams and all that, it's a post-retro scene in a way, you know, because who's not enjoying retro gaming right now? So retro gaming is like, because of the resurgence of retro gaming, it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to be, and you know, even games that came out like 5-6 years ago will eventually be retro, you know? So they become retro, like your Dreamcast games, GameCube games, even, you know, the Wii U will be retro, you know, all systems will be retro at some point. And so, you know, it just sounds like a good fit for what I enjoy doing.
Right? That's crazy. I mean, I want to take a second to talk about that. Like, what do you guys think about the fact is, like, we're living in the era, like, we lived through, you know, I think we could reach one of our early systems, go back to our youth, like Super Nintendo, NES, Dreamcast, things like that. But even in consoles, like in modern day consoles, we, you know, PS4, even PS3, PS4, Xbox 360. One day, those are going to be consoles in the same bracket of Super Nintendo, of Dreamcast, the Atari, like things like that. Like, how do you guys think of that? Like, these consoles will soon be like looked at as just old machines of just like how gaming, like along the gaming like timeline.
Yeah, it's history, in my opinion. You know, it's history that we all live it. So we're living through history. We get to enjoy it. Like, who doesn't like going back to the time where they were young, you know, and they were kids? And it's funny because I'm an old soul in a way. I mean, I'm in my late 30s, honestly, but I've been playing games since I was a kid, and I can play the same games that I played as a kid right now and feel the same as I did back in the day. There are exceptions, obviously. There are some games that are straight trash, and then you're like, wow, this game did not age well. But you got that, you got a core group of games that you can play forever, and that's the type of stuff that I like to stream.
You know what's funny?
Yeah.
That is a good question, though. Like, what games do you feel like you enjoyed as a kid, but are like bad now?
Bash.
Just bad? Ooh. That did not age well.
Yeah, what did you say, Dave?
Oh, I mean, I just picked up on what you said and just, you know, repeated, but I'd have to think. But there are a lot. There are a few. There are a lot. It's just hard to. I mean, I wish I had the list right now. That question, if I had it pre set up, I would have had a whole list.
It'll take me a second.
I was thinking about that myself. I was like, man, like, what is the game I used to love as a kid, but I don't like now? I think, like, for me, like, especially, like, this isn't like as a kid, but Kingdom Hearts for me, the first one, aged horribly. Like, that game is garbage. I'll never wish that on my worst enemy. Like, 2, sure, but Kingdom Hearts 1, horrible. You can't skip a cutscene. The everything's super stiff. Like, no.
Damn, I know there's some people that'll have some words with you on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think like, oh man, to pull back the nostalgia lens real quick on some of these games, it's gonna take me a sec. Like, and I feel like maybe like that's. I feel like now I wonder if it like because I was gonna bring up high score, which we'll get into in a little bit, but I want to say like how a lot of these games were viewed. It was almost like black and white back in the game. It was like these games, people either the consensus was everybody loved it or everybody hated it. Like I feel like when our era, when it's looked at retro, is going to be so mixed because you're gonna have like a lot of the diehard, like there's gonna be the diehard Kingdom Hearts fans, that will, they're gonna be like 80 years old and they will still like go to the streets for their games, like Keyblades and all. Like
Shenmue, check that out. That game is not good right now. I mean, the first 2 Shenmue games are like nostalgia reasons. You can play that and be like, damn, I remember when I played it. But as a game, if they made it better now, like the fact that they took Shenmue 3 and made it like they did the first 2 is a mistake. They should have taken what makes gaming good now and reapplied it to the current environment and what's possible of gaming. So Shenmue is not a good game, unfortunately.
Wow. I mean, do you think they and that's a good thing too, because that game it's been around for a bit, and it's like those 3 games like over the course of like what, like I don't remember how many years, but it's been that set of titles been around. Like, do you think that they tried the, if it's not broken, don't fix it, like strat, and then they took it to the 3rd game, but it didn't work for the 3rd game.
Right. That's pretty much how they did it. They just kind of, copy paste in a way.
Yeah, they went for nostalgia with that one. I would even argue that like half of Sonic Adventure is not good. Like,
yeah.
I didn't want to say it because I was like, man, but everything else about it is
voice acting's trash.
Like half of the game is worth playing.
Like the music, you're right. I don't like. Okay, how would you address that? Because that's tough. Because I was just like, damn, were they like bad in the sense of just design, a game design, or controls?
Like I keep falling off the fucking stage. I'm like, come on. Like I used to be nasty at that game, and maybe I lost it. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's personal. But I could only play level 1 and enjoy it. And like, if you try watching cutscenes, I mean, the intro of the game is good, but playing as the other characters is a waste of time. And watching some of the dialogue is just like, what the hell?
Yeah, like for me, honestly, like Sonic's story is good, Knuckles and Tails, and then from there it's just like, yo, I get it, y'all were doing too much. Like I didn't want to play as Amy because Amy literally takes like what Sonic stages are about, but just removes the speed.
Yeah.
E102 I actually kind of enjoyed, but I understand why people wouldn't. And then Big the Cat, like I didn't buy Sonic the Fish, like
for sure.
This guy isn't fast. He's not strong.
I played him first, and then I played the rest of the game, so I can get that out of the way.
Yeah, like I was just so like when I got older and I understood like better how to do it, like I was like, okay. And like at least the music is fire once you like snag a fish on the line. But geez, like I did not buy Sonic Adventure to fish. Like there's like what is that one fishing game that like came out for Sega? It's like Seaman something that came with the fishing rod and everything, and it swears at you. Like I would have bought that if I wanted to fish. Like,
it swears at you? What?
Talking that shit is weird. It came with a microphone, I think, and
yeah. Like that shit was weird.
You can talk shit back to it.
Like to a fish.
You can talk shit back to your fishing rod.
Yeah.
Well, it's to the fish. There's like a fish, like a talking fish game.
So fish is talking shit to you. You talking shit back to the fish.
Yeah, it's wild.
That is wild. That sounds kind of lit, but that's kind of wild at the same time.
Weird
Man, so, I mean, to that point, like, okay, like, there's definitely games that did not age well. God, I'm trying to think of just, like, some games now. Okay, here's another thing. So what games that we think that came out now, like some recent titles over the few years that we think won't age well in another, like, 20 years, in another 20, 30 years? What do you think games that will not age well?
Xander froze. Is everyone there?
Oh, your picture froze.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, your
man.
picture froze for me, Dave.
Am I the only one that's
It's
on?
kind of funny, yo. Your picture's kind of hilarious.
What just happened?
The expression you have is kind of.
I hope our Zoom meeting didn't run out.
No, but because on my screen, it's like
now.
you're looking up. Oh, now you're good
now.
We're back.
Okay. All
right. I feel like, well, there's some games that didn't age well already, like Anthem and stuff like that. But in the day and age of like patching, I feel like it's kind of hard. Like you just have to intentionally not fix the main problems of the game. Like I don't think Street Fighter V is going to age well.
I probably will keep playing that game personally, but I can see your point because it's not going to have online. There's going to be a point where it's going to stop being online. So why would anyone play it?
Ooh.
Shooters don't age well either. I feel like because they're a yearly thing. Like
Call of Duty. I know because a lot of the call. Yeah, I was thinking like all the Black Ops. Yeah, like give them like 20, 30 years from now. Like I don't, because like it's like very few shooters, like even back in our day and age that I think for nostalgia they were amazing, but like no one's admiring like GoldenEye or like Perfect Dark for like the shooting game element. I think there's like other aspects of the game that, but
that is
I don't think
one.
Call of Duty probably is gonna get clapped up.
That's another one. GoldenEye did not age well. GoldenEye is a good game, and it was great for its time, but the controls are what hold that game back.
64 was not made for shooters. 64 was not designed for shooters.
Yeah, the controller holds it back.
That controller, that goddamn UFO controller, what the hell?
Technology of a controller.
The last time that I was on the show with you guys, we were talking about Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and what's funny is that
might age well. That was just a really that might age well.
They remastered it, and I was playing that on stream last night, and it looks great when you remaster a game. And when you talk about the campaign mode, then that's fine because you can play that on your own, So that you get a single player experience with a good story and action packed stuff. You can keep playing that, but there's no online to that. And it's on PS Plus if you haven't picked it up already. So,
Yeah, I should do that.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I should do that.
Free.
Okay. How about this? Wait, are we cheating? Every nowadays we cheating with retro games because we remaster them.
So
because
you wouldn't have the game without the remaster, right? Like you can't remaster a game that didn't exist. So if they what they're doing for the remaster is really enhancing the visuals for that. And they're bringing it to a newer platform with better aesthetics.
There are situations where they remaster and like fix some things or add some content, like like with Rare Replay when they did like Perfect Dark and Perfect Dark Zero, they fixed the controls. They did that with Jet Force Gemini too, because boy, the controls on that were garbage. But
still,
that just wasn't a good game.
Yeah.
So
okay. Jet Force Gemini did not age well. All right, you got that out of me. But
yeah, for the most part, it's just like a graphical overhaul.
Yeah. And when you go back, right behind me, I got Street Fighter EX2 going, right? And that game plays really well right now. It feels like you're playing at least. It's very natural. I mean, it's not easy to see probably, but yeah. I challenge anyone to find and play Street Fighter EX2 and just be like, it's a bad game. It's not a bad game. It's fun.
Yeah, I think that was better than 3.
Oh, absolutely better. That game's that's a dumpster fire.
That was the first one I played, so I was like, "Oh,
Cross-billing.
this is sick." And then I went back to play 2, and I was like, "Oh,
Bad
this is
first
amazing."
experience, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
and failed.
But
Because like I mean, I think this will probably. I guess this is a good. This is definitely good stuff. I get I guess it's a perfect transition to go into the high score. Talk a little bit about that. It's like the Netflix documentary that was just about like the history of gaming. I checked that out a little bit. I talked a little bit about Kage here. I checked out the first episode, just the intro into the history of gaming, how gaming came to be, starting with Space Invaders, with Pong, and how the guy from Space Invaders came with Pong. Starting from there, and and then there's more. There's like 6 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
But then episode 5 is fighting games, or episode 5 goes into the history of fighting games, and that was interesting because I didn't know a lot about Street Fighter 1. And they actually went into like pretty much how Street Fighter 1 came to be. The guy who designed the stages, the stages, the art, like all the art style for the game. And then we went to the guy who designed the characters for the game. The guy who designed Chun-Li, or pretty much came out as like, the idea of how Chun-Li came to be, which was sick actually, because you never really hear about that. You kind of just see the character, get to know the character as they are, when you first interact with them. But then to hear like straight out of the origins, like this is literally how the character came to be on paper before, this is what they was before the one them now. And just to get that whole outlook on just different kind of video games, especially fighting games, for us, is really dope. So let's talk a little bit about that. We didn't get to, again, me and Dave didn't peep the whole thing, but
about Chun-Li and my experience. So when I was a young buck, Street Fighter came to so this is Street Fighter Champion Edition. I've been playing Street Fighter since the World Warrior days and whatever, so I was already good at the game. I'll cut from one to the other real fast. So I was using Chun-Li as a kid, as she was my main, and that was my girl. And then I stopped using her because Ryu was the last character that you would fight before the last 4 boss characters, because I couldn't beat him, and you couldn't do a mirror match on World Warrior. I started choosing Ryu to avoid fighting him, right? But so
that's
next level. I switched it up. But then when Champion Edition came out at the video store down the block from me, I went to choose Chun-Li. The first day they brought Champion Edition into the freaking video store, I was bodying people. I was beating all the older kids and everything. And there was a line of people trying to play, but I was the only one, player 2, staying on the game. They had to be like maybe 15 or 16-year-old kids. They picked me up and moved me off of the game, and they beat me while I wasn't playing the game in order for me to lose so that I can go in the back of the line.
That's bullying. That right
is,
there, ladies and gentlemen, is bullying.
I cried and everything. But, that's what happened. That's what happened. So when I first saw Chun-Li's,
man,
I'm the strongest woman in the world, I'm like, wow, that's some shit right there. It was powerful.
I know, that's bars. I know, right? It's just like real rap. Who else is... She came with the Booker T energy.
Yep. Straight scissor kick, spinner Rooney. So
it was just like she took the whole, like she took the belt. Like she was just like, she was about to call out. I thought she was gonna call out Hulk Hogan, even though he had a woman. Nope. I was like, damn, Hulk Hogan's catching all the heat. No, but I think there's parts about that, like even to your point, to take it to the doc when I don't remember his name, but for those check it out, who was coming up with the idea for Chun-Li at the time, and like kung fu movies was popular, they were popping, and he's like, oh, but there was like no like there was also females in these kung fu movies as well, and he was like talking about the representation and just like, I want to make a dope kung fu character but have them female. And and I like, because nowadays everybody's all about female empowerment and stuff like that. I'm just like, yo, like for all the shit because also like for like fight like games get, and I'm just like, you have one of the oldest, like an old version of
Anyone.
female representation you can get, and you have this character. You were talking about equality. She was giving hands
To everybody.
to other grown men, to everybody. And then it did her thing. Yeah, when she wins, she flexes. I'm the strongest woman in the world. Like, yo, I'm just saying, if you guys are looking for that type of representation, if you overlooking my girl Chun, you're doing something wrong. That's all I'm saying.
Word.
Which was dope. Like when you saw the history of that, and you're like, yo, Street Fighter as a franchise, even though Street Fighter V is not my least favorite of the titles right now, Capcom and what Street Fighter's done, it's huge. So it was really dope that they covered that in the doc.
It's funny. Guile was actually the one all about true equality. He was telling everybody to go home and be a family man. He even told her.
Even Chun-Li, go home and be a family man.
He's like, you're not exempt.
That game was about Street Fighter 2 World War is all about equality, bar none.
Everyone's getting hands no matter where you're from in the world.
Where you're from. And even talking about like the stages, about using real places, going around the world, taking pictures, and even going into, which I like, about like how the Street Fighter tournaments back in the day started. And they got to interview the guy who was like one of the first national in Japan for winners for Street Fighter 2. Yeah, back in the day. And I was like, oh shoot, I recognize this mofo. And then because it led into esports, right? Yeah. And I think that's that's the big thing, about all of this now, because when a lot of people look at gaming, esports, and a lot of the roots of going in the arcades, like fighting people, playing people, trying to be the best, just for just to want to be the best, not for the money, not for the fame, just for the sake of, yes, I beat everybody in my arcade, things like that, like those type of old feelings and sentiments. One day it led to what we have today, like the $1.8 billion industry that's esports, Like, how do you guys feel about that? Like, the way arcades pretty much led into what we have today, where people can make full livings, like can make a whole living off of their games. That was the guy himself. His story was, I won. Like, I was like, he loved Street Fighter, but, after that, he conformed like everyone else and went and got a sales job,
I think it's dope, honestly. I think it might be the same ratio of people who are able to get into pro sports, where, you're probably going to be like in the 5% of the population who can play as well and also get a, contract and be signed to play professionally. But the fact that you can play and maybe make it and get to a stage is really amazing. So, I quickly wanted to say that there's an application called Fightcade where you can play games against other people online using your computer. So if you've never had the experience to play an arcade game and play against people who are good, or at least trying to get good, you can play Fightcade and feel what it is, what it was like to play at the arcade, because that's how it feels for me. So, to answer your question, it's sick that, esports is a thing. And without the arcade scene, without that foundation of getting those high scores and trying to beat those high scores, we wouldn't have that motivation and that drive to have what we have today.
Yeah. Like even, just and not even just to lean it so heavily on fighting games. Like, we love fighting games, but even take it to the first episode, like the first the Space Invaders tournament, like that was, I didn't even know Space Invaders, how old that game was. They were flexing like that. They had tournaments, you had people like lined up, and it was just based on score. Like they're like, all right, ready, boom, like go. People are just sitting in a chair an hour and a half of Space Invaders. That's intense. I play the game. Like I'm not like I don't put myself. I'm not good to be as those people to be playing straight on one. I guess in the one quarter on Space Invaders for that long, and because that's the thing about those games too. It's like the simple strategy is there, but to execute it and to be good. I think just to be good at any game is not easy. You know, I think there's time and mastery that goes into it, and that Space Invaders, just even something that Space Invaders, like you get to talk to the national champ, like it goes to show, like even the simplest of fighting games, when you put it in front of a person, like, and they make it their goal to master it, like that's a journey in itself. And it was cool that that they took champions from these games, these unorthodox games, and like they tell you about like, yeah, back then, of course they're old now, they're like, yeah, but I was 14, I would play this game all the time. Or like the Street Fighter champion in Japan, he was just like, my friend taught me, I bodied him, he was no longer a match for me, I went fought other people. He became a world warrior. He just came like Ryu. He was like, it's literally the Ryu mindset. You go find people to fight and then test yourself. But I think it just gives that overall, like the healthy competition that like someone who's young could definitely use. And it is definitely good for. And just to bring into like highlight some other cool stuff about the doc. To go into, we mentioned this before we started the podcast. I want to get his name up because the black engineer, the software engineer who came up with the first cartridge. So like for games for Channel F. Damn. You got his name? Anyone got his name?
I'll get it.
Definitely want to do right by homeboy because from what the doc covered, someone who was back in the day in his own garage, you know, working and tinkering with computers and whatnot, came up with the first
Jerry Lawson
cartridge. Say it again.
His name is Jerry Lawson.
Yeah, Lawson. Yeah, Jerry Lawson. Like I said, software engineer. He was working for was it Midway? Is one of these companies they're just like, you need to like when he was working with a company that ended up for Channel F, he basically made the cartridge so that you're able to switch off games, own one console and just to basically play different games. Because back then games were only on one. Like he had one system. It was mostly for one game.
Yeah, like Pong was console.
Like one console. Like Pong was a console. Like that's crazy. Like now, one console could play hundreds of games. Back then, you got Pong. All you're playing is Pong. People were livid. People got hyped. That's the thing. People were like, "Yo, Pong, let's go." They were about it. That's why I was like, "Damn, we spoiled." Now in the days, you can play over 300 games on one console, but it wouldn't have been possible if one person didn't take the steps to get to where we are today. So shout outs to Jerry Lawson. I can't remember the year, but yeah, Channel F. Check it out if you don't know. Definitely some interesting stuff. Black inventor, so you already know. Black African American, doing it for the culture, especially for gaming, because a lot of us, gaming is where we grew up in. I know some other, you got any interesting stuff you want to point out, like from what we saw on the doc that was dope? I know Night Trap was hilarious. I think the story on Night Trap was funny.
It makes me think when they talk about the controversy that Mortal Kombat and Night Trap brought, if you check out Mortal Kombat 11, I wish they would have spliced what Mortal Kombat 10 and 11 looked like compared to what it looked like in 1992, because,
oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man. The shit that they do now is wild.
It's the next level. And you got to see young Ed Boon. Yo, that's what I was like. Young Ed Boon. This man's really been making Mortal Kombat since he was a teenager, man. And to see how Mortal Kombat, and you're like, they took actual actors Like for the game, they took like green screens, actual actors doing jump-ins on trampolines.
Yeah.
The jump moves were being done on trampolines. To see all that, like, it looks so goofy and funny. But like, if it wasn't for that, we wouldn't have like, you know, Mortal Kombat 11, which is like one of the, like, you know, Warner Brothers like high-selling Mortal Kombat games of just out there. Just
Yeah,
period.
actually, with that, you wouldn't even have NBA Jam because they use that same technology to put the players in NBA Jam.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They
So
hired
was
some
the
guys.
dunkers on trampolines and
Yeah, they hired some guys to come in and, like, you know, do the
animation
green screen stuff. Yeah.
Imagine if they use that same technology with HD like pictures and things. I think that would be kind of dope. Or even just take high resolution textures like that look lifelike. Would be, even for a small project, I would like to see that.
I think it'd be funny to see it now, like the same practice, but like you said, like they do this with, like, you know, like red cameras and stuff like that. Like that'd be really interesting to see.
yo, because I mean, it would just be more like games would be like movie-like. I mean, that's what movies just have. You know, the bulbs and the, you know, the green screens and the suits. I don't even know what the green suits. Is that what they're called?
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you would think, you know, as some like games that are just like made entirely like that, almost like you know, like home movies.
Like a reverse engineering in a way, like the way Cuphead was made, that looks like a 1940s animation. They can do the kind of same concept in a way with the way Mortal Kombat was made in NBA Jam and make it now, and it will look much more believable. It will be photorealistic. It'll be pretty interesting. Maybe we'll see it in our lifetime. I think that'll possibly happen.
Yeah, no, it's I hope so. Just because overall, I think one of the biggest takeaways from what I've seen in the doc so far, and I, you know, I hope to continue to see, is like the different ingenuity, like a lot of people took with these games, like back in the day. It became successful because of it, and like they changed the whole industry. And it's crazy how throughout, even nowadays, before esports really blew up, how people are able to change the world, even like leave their imprint on the world through games. We've been told like there's no future in, you know, video games, no waste your time and that type of stuff. But this doc literally gives you accounts of people who are in the same place as we are, or we were, or, you know, different periods of time who didn't even have as much technology, but they had a passion for games and they were able to, you know, do some really cool shit with it. And yeah, I think what the takeaway that the doc gives is, don't let anyone tell you shit. Like when it comes to game, man, follow your passions, follow your dreams, because like your idea may just change the world. Like the guy who made Space Invaders, he saw War of the Worlds by Orson Welles, and he was like, he really thought like aliens was gonna look like squids and stuff, and like, shoot, he was one of the old grandfathers of games that led to other games that led to another game, and your idea might inspire someone to create even the next big thing, you know. Like
Word.
that's what is cool, and I think that's what it's all about. Is there any? I do want to add more, but at the same time, I know there's a couple. I want to hit on a couple announcements too, about games that were announced. I don't know if you guys heard of the Warner Brothers announced their new Batman game.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. So I was just like,
that looks really good.
That looks neat. Yeah. So I definitely want to talk about that. Tax, you know, I know you all know Tax out here, still out there in the in the streets and Fall Guys in the streets is trying to get that crown. You know, something. I mean,
9 of them things.
You still got that clip you sent me the other day? I want to see if you wanted to put that clip on.
I'd have to find it real quick, but
if you got that, you know, we'll put it on for those who got YouTube.
Long story
Spotify.
short, I got better internet, and then things started to change.
Oh,
Started winning. They stopped grabbing my tail from like 2 years ago. Well, it did happen to me once, but yeah, like hold on, let me see if I can pull it up quick.
All right. Well, while Tags is that,
because I wanted to touch real fast. I actually did a stream of Fall Guys with my wife, right, where I put my PS4 on the same stream as my PC, so I had like a split screen. The game currently isn't crossplay, but they say it's going to be eventually. But we had two instances of Fall Guys going at once and stuff, and you know, just trying to switch it up a little bit when I do my streaming. So I would encourage you.
Damn.
It's kind of fun.
Nah, that's dope. Nah, if you got any noteworthy clips you trying to bless?
Bro, I've got hundreds of them, but they're not all winners. They're not all bangers, but a lot of them I think are funny. Just so check them out.
I'm trying to peep. Let us peep, and then we could let our bless our viewers real quick. You know what I'm saying? Look at you just showed all her secrets.
All right, so this is the clip. So audio can't really hear it, but
oh damn, he's out. Yo, you cheating?
Nah, good internet. Good internet, baby.
Holy shit.
Crazy good internet.
And walking the hotline mask.
Yeah, man, with the mask on.
On his Bugs Bunny.
That shit was crazy. Do you guys ever watch Most Extreme Elimination Challenge?
Yeah.
That's what that game reminds me of.
Yeah.
So you got the fake doors, and they jump through the door and they hit their fake
what
doors.
What about the freaking like walking, like trying to get across like the moat on pegs on like and then there's like the ball just
coming
gonna
down.
wreck you. Yeah, it just just trying to knock your ass off. Yeah. You're right. That's actually what Fall Guys is. And then what was the other show from back in the day that was like that? It was like Banzai, like
probably.
Just those extreme sports basically, just where people just
getting fucked up.
Get fucked up and just eat shit.
Yeah.
And we just loved it. It was amazing. And that's Fall Guys. That is actually, to me, when I see it, Fall Guys. Damn. I still gotta play. I still gotta play myself.
Get on it.
I do. I gotta get on it. But let's talk a little about the Gotham Knights, because I peeped the trailer and I was like, yo, Sonic Heroes, but Batman. Like that's really what that's what I got. Like you basically had Nightwing, Batgirl, I guess it was Damian for Robin. I guess it's the Damian version, Damian Wayne for Robin, and we had Red Hood. Even Red Hood, I was like, yo, homie came through. The Red Hood strapped up. Batman. The premise: Batman is dead. Dead. He's like, I'm done. I'm whatever. You got this footage. I'm dead. Y'all got to take over and finish what I've started or continue what I'm doing. And, it looks like basically the Arkham Knight, Arkham Asylum games brought back, but with just the other former sidekicks. And you just play them all kind of interchangeably. Like they all have from like the trailer, it looks like they all play like kind of like I say Sonic Heroes because they all they have different roles, or they play the game in like different ways. Like I feel like Batgirl, a lot of her thing was like she was like flying around the city, she was like swinging around like freaking like what's his face, like Red Hood, like his aesthetic, he's just straight guns. Like his thing is like they all fight differently. He's just straight strapping, just shooting people up. And I think it's just been a while since we had like a Batman game. So I'm actually really excited. They're coming out with this one, and the villain too. The villain looks good. The villain looks flames. What do you guys think? I'm just going off here.
Yeah, the cinematics look really dope. So Like, I'm like, what movie is this? I want to watch it. But I'm down to play.
Yo, Court of Owls, man. Court of Owls, woo. That's gonna be good. For people who hooks with some Batman, Court of Owls is definitely some good. It's gonna be some good content. Like, I think the story is definitely gonna be good. Because I feel like Court of Owls is a part of the Batman universe that gets a little slept on when it comes to cinematics, the animation and things like that. Like, I feel like in certain stories or in the comics, you'll know all about the Court of Owls. I mean, there was the one animated Court of Owls movie, actually, with Batman. But I think we should definitely know about them more. People who like the Batman movies, they're gonna want to see a movie with these guys in it. Tax, did you peep or you have anything?
I didn't see it, so I'm just all ears right now.
All right. I gotta ask if you guys saw the Ninja Turtles crossover with Batman movie.
I haven't peeped it. But I know the crossover. It's hard?
Check it out. Yeah, it's dope. I fucking buy it. Just buy that shit. It's dope.
All right. Because you know me, man. It's been a minute I've seen, like, the Turtles come through, and I was thinking, like, yo, this crossover is hella ambitious.
You have to get it. It's so good.
The thing is, it's two different people. It's just, like, yo, you have, you have the Turtles, like, they're serious, but at the same time, they know how to chill, have fun, and laugh. Like, Batman is no shits and giggles.
He's not
with that shit at all. Like, how do they even work? It's so crazy.
It's
like, I need to peep.
Look at that. Check it out. Rent it.
All right. You heard it from Kage here first, yo.
Turtles cross Batman. Get it.
Shoot.
I wish that
was... Wait, say what?
I wish it would be a video game. That'd be amazing.
Ooh. Ooh. What? Because Warner Brothers has a lot of.
They're doing it.
Interesting IPs. Like, you would think.
Maybe one day.
Man, someone gotta have the formula.
It comes out and I'm gonna pick it up like, oh shit. Oh, I gotta get that. Can't wait. Be fucking 90 years old.
You're literally about to turn to dust as you itch for the game.
Give me that shit.
It was like my precious. And just to throw out some other interesting like titles of games I peeped over the week. Like for the Switch, they're coming out with a beat game for Avicii. It's like a Avicii Injector, I think is what it's called. It just looks like it's just a beat game. But, it looks like it's coming out with all the former DJs, like hit games, he passed on, Avicii, committed suicide a couple, I think it was 2018. So rest in peace. But, it was kind of dope that you could take, because me and Tax mentioned before how, like, artists, musicians should definitely get more into the Twitch space, but also just, like, kind of like the gaming space, how we see some people do, because there's definitely untapped avenues out here to bring both genres and platforms together. And I just thought that was a cool game to bring up.
Congratulations, Tax, on getting that affiliate status on Twitch.
I appreciate it, man. Now the uphill battle is waiting for the emotes to get approved.
For sure. That's going to be, you got to wait 60 days before you can officially upload them and all that, but...
Nah. You don't have to wait that long. It's
I must have misread that shit.
Yeah, so 60 days is when you can just upload them instantly and don't wait for approval.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, but you can upload now and it's just, they'll get to it eventually, I guess. Like, I don't know
like
what's
your
going to happen.
passport.
Exactly. Like, I uploaded them earlier this week and it's just like, all right, well, just waiting on that, I guess.
What's up with that? You have to make an appointment.
All these people at Twitch.
Twitch sends you an email telling you have to make an appointment. I'll be dead.
Oh,
been here for 30 minutes.
30.
Yeah, wait, nah, don't even. Don't wish that on me.
Stop jinxing the man before it happens.
Yeah.
Oh no, but that Avicii game actually came out in 2017. It's just they're re-releasing it as an encore edition. So I guess they're adding more stuff, updating the visuals or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I
I
did some quick research on that. So I'm like, that's pretty cool. Shout out to.
Was it for like Wii U then? Wait, it came out for like. Did it come from like Wii U before?
I was on PS4, Xbox, and Steam, and now it's coming to the Switch, which is pretty cool.
All right, cool. Yeah, definitely check that out. I guess in this case it falls under remaster, re-release. You know,
So my alley.
Yeah, which by the way, Kage, I don't know if you wanted to mention anything on top of what you've been doing with PostRetroGaming.
Right now, really, it's the Instagram that I have, which I'm trying to get to lure everyone to my Twitch channel, which is Kage_Santana. But the IG that I'm doing is all video game related images and art and maybe other types of media. I like to do mashups of like Futurama, because like Futurama and Simpsons have a lot of video game arcade scenes in there on the shows. So I take a screen cap from there and I cut the screen out and I put either a video game that they're playing, I put the Simpsons video game in there. And more recently I've been putting video in the image. So you have a still image with a video playing in the arcade. So like Fry on Futurama's watching the countdown of his Street Fighter where the kid's saying, "You stink, loser," and whatever. And he doesn't continue because he loses, whatever. So things like that. So I'm slowly gaining traction on that and learning about IG and all that stuff. So PostRetroGaming on IG and on YouTube, which I'm really just taking videos from my Twitch and uploading them. But eventually I'll have more, I'll have better uploads when I, figure out how to use like the DaVinci software and do some better editing and make it more classy and all that stuff. So PostRetroGaming is on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. So you can check that out if you're interested.
Dope. Yeah, I heard it here first, and we'll definitely have the info in the description. Again, for those who did not peep you in our other episode and are just getting hip to your channel now, and then just for a reminder's sake, so what have you been? So I know you mentioned Fall Guys, but what else have you been playing on your channel recently?
So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do my retro games. I call that my scheduled time from 8 to like 10. It may go a little later. I might start a little earlier. But what I do on Tuesdays is I play any arcade game that I have. Like behind me, I have like hundreds of arcade games from any, from the 80s to the 90s and 2000s and all of that. And what I typically do I might play the arcade version of that game and then play the console version of the same game. So if you had Kung Fu Master on the arcade, which was turned into Kung Fu on NES, I'll play both of those games kind of side by side and just see the differences. And, I'll die a lot and hopefully it'll be entertaining. And on last Thursday, I actually went to the console side and I was playing on my TV, where I was playing like Sega Master System. I was playing my Nintendo Mini, which is modified. And funny enough, my wife came downstairs and she was like, "Can I play Bubble Bobble?" And I'm like, "All right, you want to play what? Since when?" And when she started playing Bubble Bobble on the arcade, I actually hooked up my stream to show her playing the arcade while I was playing my console and stuff. So trying to be innovative and do things that I think people haven't been doing, and hopefully just be entertaining in general so that people come back.
That's the thing with Twitch. Like you gotta, one thing I learned with Twitch is like everybody games. So you have to figure out how to stand apart from that. And like, I'm tuned into a lot of your streams. I like them. Like, it's definitely cool seeing that. Like like when you would play the arcade version and then like the home version of it. I thought that was interesting because like I think I saw you playing like the arcade version of Tetris, and I was like, I've never seen this in my life.
Yo,
like,
yeah, and it's funny because that damn video got like over 300 views. Like, not the video, unfortunately. I wish the video would get that many views, but the clip of it is getting crazy popular. I'm like, what? I'm like, yo, if you're gonna watch the clip that much, check the channel out. I've got shit, you know.
Hey, that's how it works, man. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's dope, though. Definitely, you could definitely share the clip, with us as well. Get people now you got people here. It's like, yo, what's this Tetris clip you talking about? That's how it works, man.
The funniest part is that clip, there was nothing really going on. I made it just to make it so that, you can see the two different games and shit. But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity for, plugging my platform. So thank you.
No, of course, man. And as excuse me, I just wanted to also mention too, just on top of the point I made with tax bringing in how more artists are getting into gaming or the realm of gaming. I like peeped the other day. It was like an ad for like 2K PGA, and I'm just like, I never really see a lot of like PGA or like golf ads for like their games, but like this one recently had like Schoolboy Q, the rapper, probably like the black hippie crew, Schoolboy Q, and it was interesting because like he's a really big golfer. He's really big into golf. Like in like one of his interviews, he's like saying like golf is like actually like one of his favorite sports that he could just go. He loves golf. And he recently did a promo for the new 2K PGA for the game, and I was like, man, like Schoolboy is a dope. Like he's definitely like a dope artist. One of my definitely my like top artists. But I'm just like, he's my dude, but I don't know. I'm like, you still can't make golfing hype for me, man. Like that was what I realized. I was just like, man, I was like, how can you can't the real game? I was like, the actual sport or the game, you can't get me excited for it. And I was thinking, like, is that possible? I was like, if I was thinking, like, is golf probably the most boring sports game? Like think of, like not like sports, but like sports game. Would you put golf as like you put golf as one of the most boring sports games?
Could be.
In your opinion.
It could be. But what I'd like to think about that is maybe there's a kid, from the city who doesn't have golf accessible to them, or maybe they have an interest in it and do watch it on TV, and then they see someone that they can relate to, like, oh, wow, if they're really into it, then that really could be accessible to me and could pursue and be get into it more. Because there are a lot of things that hold people back because they feel like they don't have that outlet. They don't have, people with like-minded, interest around them and stuff. So maybe that, is a good thing.
Honestly, for me, I don't like watching golf, but I think sports games are like the same as like sports anime. Like there's like no bad sports anime. And like even like the
I'll wait for the golf one then.
The golf one is actually low key fire. Like the golf games are mad fun. Like I didn't think that I would like the golf games, but like it started with like Mario Golf, and then like I had like a run in like Tiger Woods PGA Tour where I was killing stuff because like you make your own character and stuff like that, and like my dude was like mad swole. He was like, you know what I mean?
That is not the ultimate golfer.
I mean, it was launching it. Like it was just mad fun, like playing the golf games, like.
And that's what it was.
I can't watch it. I don't think I can actually play golf in real life, but I can play the golf games, no problem.
And
mini golf, come see me in mini golf. Like I'll like mini putt. That's fun. But it was just like
that'll be fun.
I think there was one recently. Like I know there was one on VR, but I could have sworn there was like a semi-popular mini golf game recently. I don't remember that.
No, because what got me was like in the commercials, just like how people playing like 2K PGA were like popping off, and I'm like, is this how really people in golf be like popping off?
You never
It
know.
was, it was like, man, I just found that hilarious. It's just like, like this man, like literally, it's like golf is the most anti-climatic like sport and game, and like me just seeing someone like like rage, like we see rage, we play fighting games, we know what salt and rage look like, and I'm thinking like someone just like throwing their controller, just like they go for the putt. He's like, all right, he goes for the putt, he lines it up. Oh, he was just a little bit off the mark, like he, and then he's just like livid. Like I can't. Oh man,
No,
it's just funny to see. It's mad funny to see. Like he doesn't matter. He's like fuck. Like he's just knocking shit over. Game's mad peaceful. The golfer is like, dang, he's just down on his day. Like, man, it's just the image is killing me. The image is killing me. Right now.
And so I remember, like the day I learned that this stuff happens in every sport was the night of the Super Bowl. I think it was the second time the Patriots played the Giants. I think it was like 2007 or something. Like I don't remember exactly. No, it was past that. But it was the second time the Giants played them in the Super Bowl, and they had the World Series of bowling. And to this day, Pete Weber has the biggest pop off in bowling history. Like that's like the famous like, who do you think you are? I am like video.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it doesn't matter what the sport is. People get invested and like pop off like crazy. Like my man snapped. So I was like, damn, like they do that in golf too.
You really about to have me Google like bowling pop off, like
Pete Weber,
the top bowling pop offs. Like I'm really about to Google that.
Pete Weber, I'm telling you. Let me see if I can find it.
Real talk. See, you can find it because I'm on phone, so it's just like me just having to search anything. It's just probably gonna make the screen freeze. So, because if you could put it up, even maybe mute it real quick so YouTube ain't hating.
You don't get a Liberty Mutual ad.
By then, it's already too late.
Mm-hmm.
Dude. Damn, you said Liberty Mutual. I really do be getting their ads.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to share it real quick. See if I can get
all right. Shout outs to the young tax.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back.
Ooh, look at the shades.
Right.
Full professional.
A strike to claim it.
Yo, I get it. No, everybody's with him too. Yo,
he's the man.
He's really feeling himself.
My man earned it.
No.
Communist style. Who the hell do you think I am?
Who the hell do you think I am? That was crazy. Okay. I don't know bowling. I don't know bowling as much as I thought I did.
The greatest pop off in bowling history.
Is a different world. Competitive bowling is a different beast. I know
telling
that.
you, bro.
Niggas' knees, bro. Oh man. Like, was that for the game? Like, he literally like.
I think he won.
Like, that was almost like a LeBron tier pop off. Like that was almost like.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, he ended up winning that. My man had the drip. He was killing it.
So that's proof. That's the proof's in the pudding. Like I think maybe what it just comes down to is just for games. I mean, so like I guess for the games, was what it really brings back to. Like, if you're that intense or competitive into it, pop offs. You can get popped off. You can pop off or pop off on anyone.
Yeah.
In any game, you're
pop
never
off
safe.
Get popped off.
Get popped off. That's how you get popped off. You sound like people are getting just catching the work. There's people just like.
There's actually one more thing I wanted to mention real fast. The next evolution of my stream is I'm trying to get people to play with me remotely. So when I play like Nintendo and arcade games, I'm trying to get this parsec working out so that you can join me.
Parsec.
Yeah. So
I got parsec, so I'll be for it.
Yeah.
It's really
all right. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Download that Sonic Smackdown, yo. I'll jump in.
Nice.
I peeked a little bit because I saw what it was like. Was it? I think it was regular Sonic or Metal Sonic versus like Eggman, and I was like, what is this? What?
You gotta see it, Dave. If you haven't seen it, it's a fan game called Sonic Smackdown.
Oh,
it's like damn near Marvel 3.
Oh damn!
It's lit. It just won't run on Mac, so I'm like, yo, somebody got to parsec that for your boy.
That sounds dope.
Oh man,
what are you thinking of getting that going, Dave?
As soon as possible. Like I've been doing some testing yesterday, and maybe I'll do some after this, and I really would like to get that going for my next stream. If not Tuesday, then Thursday.
What game you want to try it out with? Like, you have a game in mind?
I know that, like the research that I've done, you can play emulated games on it. You can play like Steam games and whatever. So any game that's like it's up. I'm only limited to what I don't have, pretty much, or what I have. So any game anyone wants to suggest, I'm like, yo, let's play.
You want to get X-Men versus Street Fighter in, let me know. I'll we'll co-stream or something, because that's my game there.
I'm down.
Your wife stopped there. You put in X-Men Children of the Atom.
Yeah.
Go underwater real quick.
I'm down.
I'm down for that. I mean,
Especially
I want to check out. I feel like I want to check out games, especially some games like I've heard so much I've heard about, but never got to play. Or just like I'm trying to play, or maybe not play in full. Like Gauntlet. I'm trying to do like those.
Taste of it.
Yeah, you trying to get? I'm trying to get into that. I'm trying to get like this crank out, body this game from beginning to end. Because I told Tax, it's like I'm playing through the Mega Man X collection right now.
Yeah.
And I'm on the first one, which I guess it was for the SNES, the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
And like the back then, like the replay value for the games like back then, or it's just the challenge of, I guess, the difficulty of, I guess, the cutthroatness. Like games are just like of how it was. It's just like when you take a loss, it's a loss.
You're
like
done,
games now, they'll be like, well, you can save here, so you don't have to start from the beginning. Back then, it was like, nah, an L's an L.
Yeah.
So
it's over.
Yeah. So I know for a fact, like I know you could definitely get people. You definitely will pull people to your stream to get that feel for the retro games, because I think a lot of times, like games now are a lot easier. I think it's not really talked on, but there's definitely games now are more lax.
Yeah, they want you to win.
Then.
They want you to win better than the other games.
Well, that's another game that didn't age well. The original Mega Man X.
I like it. I think I can still rock with that. The reason is like he does the fireball. You can unlock that Hadouken.
Yeah, but it's completely random if like it pops up. So you have to keep dying to hopefully it spawns. Like at least they fixed it in like the remake for the PSP.
Right.
But X2 is like far superior, man. Like,
yeah, I think my favorite is X3.
I love X3. It's just like I was talking to, like, apparently a lot of people like think it's okay, but don't like it better than 2. I like 3.
Yeah,
and I love 4. 4 is like probably my favorite.
And that jumped on PS X, I think, PlayStation, right?
Yeah, and
like,
Saturn.
4, 5, and 6, I think. Maybe even 7 and 8. Fuck, they made so many. It's wild.
7 and 8 were on PS2.
Okay.
Yeah. But
I'm playing through the first half. So the first collection is 1 through 4.
Yeah.
So, which is a lot. Majority of what people like. People don't talk much about from 5 to 8.
No,
like that.
we don't talk about those.
Well, 7
don't
is
talk
like
about-
taboo, and
Mhm.
6 they rushed because it was supposed to end at 5, but then like they demanded another one, so they kind of rushed 6, and 6 is like incredibly like unbalanced in many ways. But 5 was good. 7 again we don't talk about, and 8 like I think
Yeah.
people 8 was solid, but for the second half, definitely like 5 is the gem of it. 5 and 8 are the ones you primarily want to play.
Okay. I'm more on that. I'm still working through X1. I got bought. I got bought by. I figured out, but I got bought by Storm Eagle.
Yeah.
Oh, do you not know the boss order?
Huh?
You don't know the boss order?
Nah, I don't know. I'm going through it blind. I didn't look in. I don't know the order like that. I only beat the pain. I beat Icy Penguin.
Oh, Chill Penguin?
Chill Penguin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Chill
you just
Penguin.
got
I
to trial.
only beat him.
You got to trial and error then to figure out who's weak against it.
Yo, if you get that, Lou, you got to get that fireball. That shit is power OP. You start hitting them
What's
with
that?
it, but
Flame Mammoth?
you have
Nah,
to get
you don't get the
everybody.
Hadouken until you get everything, bro.
Yeah, you got to get everything and then unlock it. Just check it out. At least.
Wait, do I get the uppercut or was that only Extreme 2?
X2 gets the Shoryuken.
Oh, man, that was going through everybody. Sigma was even catching it. No one was safe.
No one.
I can't wait. I only got the leg armor right now, so I could dash.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, yo, I'll definitely let y'all know how I'm doing on that. It's interesting because it's like it's annoying, but I like the old way of just when you lose, you lose. Like it's just hold that. Like versus like okay,
Well,
come on once you don't win.
that fucking kills me every time.
I know that's what it is, but it gets me going. Gets me going every time.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I'm trying to just not forget anything here going to the top of my head. Anything else you guys want to talk about in gaming? I know there is also more good stuff on the high score doc, but
I think we're good for the show. Actually, we can get more music heavy on the next episode because not a whole lot's going on.
Right. And I know there's I guess the only one thing was Meg Thee Stallion confirmed that Tory Lane shot her, but I felt like we said that before. I thought that was a consensus, because who else would? But
we can have a deeper talk into that next week.
Yeah, we can. It's such a mess. It's such a mess right now. It's dude, sometimes I feel like just doing the Bernie Mac for where the Bernie Mac show just be America, just address America in the beginning of the episode and just kind of lay it on straight. Oh man.
So yeah, let's call it here. Is there anything you guys want to leave the listeners or the viewers with right now?
Real quick for me,
we're gonna plug your YouTube and your Twitch, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. So just resend your YouTube link when you get a chance, and we'll post it in the description too.
Will do. Sounds dope. Well, now I'll just parting word. I'm gonna cut Sans off real fast. If anyone
cut me off, Dave, do it.
If you watch that high score documentary and you're a Street Fighter head like I am, and you haven't seen the anime High Score Girl, which is heavily Street Fighter, please watch that. That is a love letter to Street Fighter players, and it's a good ass show.
Fighting games, arcade lovers, period, too. Also.
I feel like my Twitch channel is a reflection of High Score Girl in a similar way, in that I'm playing Street Fighter on my channel a lot, but I play other games as well, and I love a lot of games. So
you're the high score girl. That's what you're saying.
I'm the high score girl. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll get you views. To Dave said, definitely check out High Score. I think it's definitely a homage. It's a love letter to just people who love games. If you like video games or just remotely interested in them, want to learn about them, it's the best place. I think it's a good doc to check out. You won't be disappointed. And for those listening, shout outs to anyone tuning in. FloorSeats, I believe, we're episode 18.
18 or legal.
It made
Woo!
it. Giggity.
No twit longers out here. Yeah, so 18, we're coming along. Thanks for being, with us along the journey so far. And peace and prosper. That's really what it is I'll have for y'all right now. And yeah, until next time.
Word.
So, yep.
All righty. We'll see you guys next week, and we are out.
Later.